What's up, everybody? What's up? Happy party! Yeah! Woo! What's up, everybody? What's up? Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Because I missed you. Let me get this stuff back on. What's up, everybody? What is up? Whew. So happy to be back, man. So happy to be back with the season 4 premiere. Season 4, man. Season 4. And let me get right into the introductions. Welcome, everybody, to the See.Plan.Do show with me, professional life coach, motivational speaker, serial entrepreneur, your life coach's favorite life coach, Mr. Garry O'Neal Jr. And as always, when you see me out in these streets, when you see me at your local event, please don't forget the Junior. Shout out to Pops. And we are back. Woo! I am fired up, and I've definitely missed you guys. So without further ado, let's get these shout outs out of the way. My day one A1 listeners, my first time listeners, hey guys. All right. My Patreon supporters, thank you so much. People in the US, people outside of the US, and always my YouTube watchers, my YouTube supporters that are watching all of this. Get all of this in 1080p. Welcome to the season premiere of the season 4 premiere of the See.Plan.Do show. And we have another power-packed podcast. You see me popping those P's. Another power-packed podcast as we start off this new season entitled Reality. And today, the appetizer of the day, we're going right into, hey, if you don't know, my experience with COVID, I had COVID, so I want to talk about that experience as well as our entree, our delicious entree of the evening, how to live in reality. So without further ado, can we get to our See.Plan.Do moment of the week, sponsored by Heart Savers Maryland. And guess what? Right after this brief commercial announcement, we will get right into our moment of the week. Starting now. All right, guys, that was your as always, sponsored by Heart Savers Maryland. So let's get right into it. And I might have talked about this before, but this one is entitled, You Don't Have Time. A lot of times as a coach, my clients think they have time. As people, we think we have time. Oh, I can do this tomorrow. Oh, I'll do this next week. Oh, I'll do this next year. But as we see, you don't have time. So I challenge you that right now, today, that you start. All I ask is that you take 2 minutes to start doing what you need to do, whatever it is. If you haven't jotted down, jot it down. But I want you to commit right now, today. I don't want you to let another minute go by, another hour go by, another day go by where you keep putting off your destiny. You keep putting off what you want. You keep putting off the things that you want in this life. Is your life not worth it? That you supposed to get what you want? Are you not special that you're supposed to get what you want? But here's the thing, guys. We have to work for it. We have to earn it. And so with that being said, one of the biggest things that we have to do is put some urgency behind it. Do it now. The thing about that is we think we have time. Oh, your favorite life coach. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, Monday's coming up this weekend. I'll start Monday. Forget that. Don't worry about Monday. Don't start on Friday. Don't wait till the new year. Don't wait till the end of the quarter. Start right now because, again, you don't have time. And I want you to act with urgency. That is your See.Plan.Do moment of the week, sponsored again by Heart Savers Maryland. So, can we get to our Greenlight Entertainment song of the week? This is one of my favorites. And sorry, as always, YouTube listeners, YouTube watchers, YouTube is not going to let us play any of these songs. Not yet. Maybe one of these days in the future. But guess what? In the section below, and of course, like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to this channel, man. But you can follow along and you can see below. You can see below what the intro song, because every week I'm going to play a song going into the show, as well as you can follow along and see what the song of the week was. Okay? That's what I can do for you. That's what your favorite podcaster, your favorite show, that's what we can do for you. So, right after this brief commercial announcement, we're going to get right into our song of the week. All right, that was your song of the week, man. I am so jacked. I'm trying to contain myself with how excited I am to be back, man. With how excited I am to be back. Here, season 4 premiere entitled Reality on the See.Plan.Do show with me, professional life coach Garry O'Neal Jr. And so let's get right into our appetizer. And so our appetizer is sponsored by, hey guys, we have a new sponsor. We have a new sponsor. Silk Hair by Sasha is a Black-owned hair company that provides high-quality Brazilian and Indian hair. We also carry bonnets, hair accessory, edge brushes, and we'll be adding more products soon. We have a custom wig service, bundles. Hey, they must be purchased from Silk Hair by Sasha. So please visit our website and subscribe to receive information on deals. Also follow them on Instagram and Facebook, Silk Hair by Sasha, and their website, if you need it, is www.silkhairbysasha.com. So your appetizer sponsored by Silk Hair by Sponsored is my experience with COVID. So if you did not know, hey, I tested positive for COVID in March. I was supposed to start the new season in March. And so what happened? Well, and actually in April, I'm sorry, in April. So what happened is that, I've been protecting myself. I've made sure that I've stayed out of these public areas and doing all these things. And the week of my son's celebration, we had a whole big thing for him for his birthday. And one of the things was, it was like a Saturday and I started feeling weak, man. I started feeling tired. I'm thinking like, oh man, is my age catching up to me? But I started feeling really tired. I'm thinking that, hey, I was outside a couple of times and, I was outside. I didn't wear a shirt. Not that I didn't wear a shirt. That's wild. But I didn't wear a jacket and it was warm one day and then it got sort of cold. And I thought, okay, maybe I'm coming down with something. But I started getting sick, man. I started getting sick. And then I started getting weak. And my son had a baseball game. And, the travel from the game was over, traveling to the car, I was done. I was really weak, really tired. And that's when I knew. I already, in addition to all the other things that I do, I'm a contact tracer. So I have to talk to people that are either possibly exposed to COVID or they have COVID. Most of the time they have COVID. So I know what the signs are. I quickly went to my healthcare provider and within 3 days I realized I had it. I tested positive. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little surprised. I wasn't as surprised as, just standing there shocked. But I was surprised because I did make sure I stayed out of the way. You start thinking about, what's going on. You start thinking about, where could I possibly gotten it from? But at the end of the day, I had it. And it was tough. It was tough for your life coach. I wish I could be on here and say it was a breeze, but it was rough. And I definitely want to share a couple of points. And I saw some great information I saw, online that sort of reemphasized how I felt. But, the first thing I experienced was, chills. The muscle aches was severe. Like I felt like someone was boxing and they were using my back for as a punching bag. That was one of the first things. The biggest, that was one of the first things that you notice. You start getting those chills, you start getting a fever. And just one of the things that, really put this home for me, that really brought this home for me is you're having problems breathing. And I'm not talking about like, hey, you're doing something and you run out of breath. Imagine rolling from one side of your bed to the next and you're struggling to breathe. That's what I went through. Just going from one side. I mean, I have a king size bed, don't get me wrong, but it's not a mile. But going from one side of the bed to the next and you're out of breath, going from just sitting up and going to the bathroom and you're dehydrated and it's just a problem. And I'm out of breath. And, as positive as you try to be, sometimes dark thoughts happen. And you start, I was home by myself, the kids weren't there, and it was tough. It was tough mentally and it was tough physically, you know, and it was just a lot, and I was able to get out of it and I started feeling better. And I'm pleased to say that I'm back 100%. But that was a tough, tough thing to undergo. And I just am, in this moment, I just want to have my thoughts and prayers sent out to people, to the families of people who tested positive, who contracted, or who was diagnosed with COVID and didn't make it. Because I get it. I get it. I understand being able to not breathe on the simplest of things, and then you got to think some people were compounded with other things, and it was just tough. It really, really was. You know, but I'm here. And I promised myself that I would not take any of this stuff for granted. This stuff with the podcast, me being a dad, me being a person, that, this changes you. I don't want to be cliche. I don't want to sound like a cliche, but when you really struggle and you're really just, evaluating yourself, you're not thinking about certain things, but when you really evaluate what's important to you, you realize that you got to protect it. So I did want to leave a couple of lessons that I learned. I saw this also online and I just really was able to just really identify it. The first thing is life is short. Listen, it's very easy to get caught up in the pettiness and BS of a lot of things that's happening, right? But life is short. We're here in this, if you really think about this, the time span of the universe, we're here for a speck, you know, and in that in the idea that life is short, we got to live it to the max. It's certain things that when I was better, when I got better, that I wrote down and I put this stuff in my phone, because there's certain commitments I need to make to myself that I don't want to leave here without honoring those commitments. And some of them was probably a little superficial, but a lot of them were very meaningful, because life is short. It's not hard. It's not difficult. But when we think about the vastness of the universe, our lives are short. Even if you live to be 120, 125, that's 125 years in the thousands of years. But it's about how you live moment to moment. We have these moments. We're given these opportunities. And so we have to think about, hey, how am I living my life? Am I helping? Am I out here? What am I doing? How can I help not only myself, but how can I help my community? Whether it's your family, your friends outside in the world, what are we doing? What are we doing here? And we got to make sure that we do that. So that's one of the biggest things that I thought about is, hey, life is short and you could turn around and it could be gone. Second thing is jobs are temporary. I didn't work at all. One, I didn't work at all. And again, I did not have my companies were still running. I was able to subcontract, but for the most part, I didn't give a damn about work. I didn't care. And when you think about jobs, we have people that struggle and that they honestly almost kill themselves to get to work. That to be honest, that if something was to happen to you, they probably would make a memo. And I don't want to be cold and not to say that your job doesn't care, but for the most part, don't worry about your job. This is something I learned, like you can't worry about your job. You have to worry about yourself. Your jobs are jobs. We can easily get other jobs, regardless of the employment rate. You can get another job easily. Our job should not be the priority of our life. Number 3, health is wealth. Listen, if you've never been as sick or if you've never had COVID, you listen, you start reevaluating the candy corns and the candy and the ice cream and all that other stuff, man. When you're really making sure you get enough water, you're making sure that, hey, I had vitamin C tablets, vitamins, all these different things. And I'm just thinking like, hey man, when I get out of this, if I make this out of this, I can't go back. And I'll eat pretty well, man. I don't eat crap. But but you got to say, hey man, I got to improve. Health is wealth. Go get checked up. Go get screened. Don't just wait once a year. Go to your doctor. All the things that you feel like something is bothering you, we work too hard, to be honest. We work hard. A lot of us work hard and we have these HMOs, PPOs, we have this insurance. Man, go get checked out. Go get checked out. You sniffling, you got allergies, you got sleep apnea, your body aches, your knee hurts, something's wrong with your foot. I don't care if you're going to the dermatologist. Go get checked out. Are you in the best health right now? Go work out, go walk. One of the things that has happened to me is I walk a lot more now. A lot. I'm more conscious about what am I doing as far as like vitamins and things that I'm eating, and I'd rather eat them at home. All those things. So this is a wake-up call that I could be gone. I could have been gone. It's not, COVID didn't just affect people that were old or overweight, like people that were in tip-top shape passed away. I could have been one of them. And so what do I do? What do you do when we're given another chance? Anything can happen. That's another thing. Like really anything can happen. I would have never thought I got COVID. I'm the one to tell people about COVID and hey, make sure you isolate yourself and all these things. But things can happen in the blink of an eye. I'm working, I'm doing all these things. I had to cancel, a lot of stuff and just be home and just lay in the bed and when I can and just focus on that. I didn't see my kids for 2-3 weeks, was able to eat, we was able to talk, but I slept most of the time. I was sick. It was a lot, man. And the last thing I want to share with you guys is if you have not looked at what's happening, you got to save money. I'm fortunate that I do work for a company that they pay me no matter what. And I have money, but those resources can easily run out. So please go get, start up a bank account, put some money in there, pay yourself first. And I will tell you, I will be transparent as heck. I always have a problem with paying myself first because I'm looking at those bills they coming in, that direct deposit hit, and they be right behind them like, yeah. They're ready. And I have to make sure I pay myself first. So that way I can have my savings account ready. So that way, in the event that something happens, I can go into my savings account. So if you already have a savings account and you got a lot of money in it, great. Kudos to you. That is amazing. If you don't, it takes nothing to start. It's like $10, $20 to go start an account. And even if you just put $20 in there a month, go do it because you're going to need resources. Outside of health is wealth and getting checked up, make sure you have your resources intact, in tow. Because one of the things that happen is that when I'm out that long, you start losing money or those opportunities, and hey, those bills got to get paid. Things that you sort of already paid for, you got to pay for those things. So make sure that you are ready. That's what I took from COVID. Is that, are you ready? That if something wants to happen, whether it's physically me getting sick or, as far as resources, do I have a backup plan? Please, let's make sure we stay safe. I'm not one of these $100 million podcasts yet. So I'm not going to offer my opinion about getting vaccinated. If you're going to go get vaccinated, great, go get vaccinated. If you're not, stay safe. Whatever your opinion is, just do your part. Because to be honest, it's crazy to see how it's people that are having all these huge parties and events, and you can see stuff kicking back up, and it's scary. But no matter what, please just make sure you stay safe. You don't want to be like, some of the other people that I've talked to that when they saw that I had it, or people were surprised because I wasn't online, and then when I came back and I saw, a lot of people, were helping me and checked in on me when they knew that I had COVID. But it's tough. It plays a lot on you. You start thinking dark thoughts. And I'm a life coach and I had dark thoughts. So please just make sure you take care of yourself. Yeah. That is your appetizer. Please just make sure you take care of yourself in all aspects. Okay? Make sure you're shored up. That you're ready for no matter what. That's your appetizer, me and how I had to deal with COVID. Sponsored by Silk Hair by Sasha. Please make sure you check them out. All right. So can we get back? I have missed this. I'm not going to lie, man. Like, I missed this. I missed this. And if you're looking on YouTube, look at the new banner. Whoa. I got my hair. I still have my hair, guys. Some people might have thought like, oh, his hair is gone. No, but I just got it. Hey, look at the growth. If you've been following me and watching me, you know that I wear hats. I didn't, I was growing out my hair again, and now I can put it in braids. And the 6-pack, I just got the Amazon confirmation that my abs will be in 3 to 5 business days. Y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that, because what's going to happen is, as I'm working out, I just bought an elliptical that's in the house, and I'm building a gym in here. When all you guys need to know, is that the day I have an episode and you see that I'm not wearing a shirt, just know it's in. I'm not even going to talk about me working out. I'm not even going to say, guess what? Episode 1 of 4, I'm working out. You're not going to see me say anything else about it. All right. We good? Great. All right. Let's get to the entree. And the entree is, of course, season 4 premiere reality here with Garry O'Neal Jr., your host, your favorite podcast host here on the See.Plan.Do show. And so let's just jump right into it. This is sponsored by Lalone Clothing. Hey, guess what, guys? If you want official merch of the See.Plan.Do show, go to laloneclothing.com. Not only do we have things that, shirts and stickers and all these wonderful things that are there, you can get shirts and messages that support your vibe. I have a shirt on right now, the See.Plan.Do show shirt right now. And guess what? One of the biggest sellers, because we need it, and I love that this is one of the hottest sellers, is that it's a shirt on there that says, everything will be okay. I'm going to wear that next week. But that's one of the biggest selling shirts. And I love that you guys are getting that shirt. So please, it's in a variety of colors. Make sure you get that, or any one of the things that can fit your vibe. That's Lalone Clothing, LALONE clothing.com. Go get something today. Let me know what you got. In the comment section, let me know what you grabbed. All right. Even if you bought a sticker, grab a sticker, put it somewhere in your city. All right. So let's talk about reality. All right. You like how I did that? All right. So with reality, right? Let me start off. If you looked at the artwork for the show, you'll see that the artwork shows the doctor from My 600-Pound Life, Dr. Now, right? And so with Dr. Now, I started watching that show. Actually, another route. There was a comedian, Justin Whitehead. Shout out to him. Man, listen, guys. So what Justin has been doing, and please check them out. Justin has been doing commentary for My 600-Pound Life. I never watched the show. I mean, I can get it. Okay, guys, I get the premise. Hey, it's a show. So he would be so funny, a little cruel, but he's very funny as far as giving commentary to this show, right? So he's just going off on them and it's hilarious. So he got me watching the show. So I'm chilling, watching the show. And one of the things that, in watching these episodes, man, you realize that it's a problem with reality. So if you have not watched this show, let me give you the premise. There are people on the show that have gained that they have gained weight. Some of it might be medical. 99% is because of eating. And you have on this show people that are 600, 700, even 800, more than that, pounds. And you sit and watch the show and you're sort of stunned at some of the food that they can eat and put away. But I wanted to talk about reality because what I've noticed in the episodes that I've sat down and watched is that people in that show have lost sight of reality. There was one show where it was two sisters and a brother. They were called they called the show 1 Ton Family. And combined weight, they were over 1,200 pounds. That's a lot. They weighed a lot and over a ton, right? Like collectively, they weighed a lot. One sister was 800 pounds. And so what led me to this episode, this premiere, was watching the loss of reality and the acceptance of where they were to facilitate change. So in one episode, so what would happen if you don't watch the show is that they're tracking him, they're watching him, they're eating whatever. So, of course, before they see the doctor, they show them eating and it's wild, man. They're eating like you think that you might get greedy and eat. Nah, no, these people on this show, they're eating like 20-piece chicken and pizzas and all this stuff in one sitting. And they're just sitting back, barely can move at times. And all these things are happening. So then they get tired and then they want to lose weight and they go to the doctor, Dr. Now. And so Dr. Now tells them that, hey, you have to lose weight before you even get the surgery. Now, as a person who went through bariatric surgery, you just can't walk up and be like, hey, that's it. You got to go through a process. And one of the things is that if you're too heavy, if you're too big, I know that some of you guys who, maybe not thought about it, as far as surgery, you can't be that big going into it. You have to lose weight for them to clear you. So in this show, the one of the girls who was 800 pounds, she really thought she was doing something. She ate chili almost 3 times a day. She ate chili and she sort of modified the portion and she put a couple of pieces of lettuce in there and she wouldn't lose. And every time, like when they walked you in, every time they had a visit, they get on the scale and she's not losing weight. And she's getting upset. She's getting frustrated. And I just would think that she wasn't losing weight. Her sister wasn't losing weight. Her brother, who was like 500, he was 12 pounds away from his own episode. And he just kept thinking, well, I'm not like them. I'm not like them. And he was definitely like them. Sir, you could have had your own episode. But the one thing that the constant that I would keep seeing from this show was people lost their sense of reality. Because the one girl had an issue. She would be very, very sassy with the scale. She would get up there, put her hands on her hip, expecting, I guess, some type of different result. One person, another episode, somebody got smart with the doctor and threatened the doctor and wound up leaving and storming out. Like, he put you there. And then when he's saying, hey, how's your eating? And you're like, oh, I haven't overeaten, but you gained 15 pounds in a month. So let's talk about reality, because that's a show. And clearly we see that, but a lot of times we all lose a sense of reality. We got to get back to reality, because once we can do that, that's when we can change, guys. So number one, I got 5 things to help us jump back into reality. Number one is accept yourself. Right now, we need to accept where we are. And I'm not saying be okay if you don't want to be where you are. I'm not saying to accept that, but you have to accept the reality of where you are. And if you are not in the best physical shape, then you have to accept that right now. Acceptance leads to change, right? So accept yourself right now for where you are. All right. Don't just try to say that's not true or things like that, because when we do that, we are denying our opportunity to change. You have to accept yourself. If you feel as though you're overweight right now, accept the fact that you're overweight. If your credit score is not the way that it is, we have to accept that. If you are not in the career that you want it to be, accept that this is where you are right now. We have to accept that. If you are not doing the things, or you feel, whatever it is, accept yourself for where you are. All right. You have to accept yourself, because that's where we can move. And that goes right into number 2, acknowledge your reality. You have to acknowledge it. See, some people think by us going on social media, by us, trying to create a different narrative of our reality. But guess what? No matter what you do, no matter what picture you try to paint, the reality is there. When these overweight people that struggle with food addiction, they had a food addiction. They would try to create a narrative that wasn't true when they went to the doctor. When they got up on that scale, they always would say, hey, last time I was here, I was 715. The doctor said I should lose this, so I should be this. And the next thing you know, they're recording it. And so what happens is, it'll show you, hey, you lost weight, you gained weight, you lost 15. One person gained 82 pounds back. And so we have to, outside of accepting yourself, we have to acknowledge your reality. We have to. And so when we're talking about accepting yourself, I want you to accept, hey, there are things that you need to work on, but also that means you also need to accept all the good things about yourself. We want to be super critical about ourselves, but hey, it all starts with your state of mind. Okay. So accepting yourself, acknowledging your reality, and just understanding, man, like, hey, we are where we are. Once you accept your reality for where it is, it'll help you choose better decisions to help you where you need to go. At one point, my credit was not where I wanted it to be. What am I going to do? Blame it on somebody else? Those are my late payments. Those are my not paying creditors or whatever, right? But I had to accept it, because Reality is there whether you want to believe it or not. You could believe whatever you want. But when those people that try to paint a different reality got on that scale and that scale told the truth does not need any support. It doesn't. It doesn't need your support. It doesn't need to shout from the pillow, from the, I already say pillow tops, shout from the mountaintops or the heavens. It can whisper because it doesn't need support. It's real. And we got to start getting real with our reality. Acknowledging your reality will help you choose and make better decisions, and they will help you achieve them. Once you start saying, hey, I accept my reality, I understand that my credit is not where it needs to be. I understand that my health is not where it needs to be. I understand that I need to make better decisions about relationships. I understand that I need to be better in these things that I understand I need to be better at. But you have to be honest and accept your reality. And also, number 3 is identify your role. Oh, man, I'm pretty sure if we talk to your exes right now, they're going to put it on you. You're the villain, right? And I'm pretty sure if we talk to you, they're the villain. And I'm pretty sure that when we talk to different people about what's going on, that no one wants to accept responsibility for what they've done. The people in the show, they don't want to accept responsibility. They try to put it off. Oh, it's stress. And I love Dr. Now. Listen, guys, if you have not watched the show and you want to really, really start getting a little kick in your behind, watch the show. Because one person was like, hey, oh, well, I got off track because I couldn't, I had to take care of my dad and stuff like that. And he said, well, what does this have to do with you making better food choices? And he's right. You're stressed. That doesn't mean that you have to get a mozzarella stick, or in that show, it ain't just one mozzarella stick, guys. Listen, they are smashing, okay? Smashing. So, and when he did that, they have no answer. And that's the truth. And that even helped me. Watching this show helped me because I'm like, oh, hey, you're having a challenging day. I don't say bad days anymore. You're having a character building challenging day. Hey, it's nothing wrong to go to Popeyes. No. What is the situation going to change whether I eat a chicken box or I eat grilled chicken? So might as well just eat the right thing, right? But identify your part in what you've done. The work, one of the things that in dealing with youth is that they didn't want to accept responsibility. Accept your role in what has happened. The Illuminati didn't do it. The man didn't do it. You did it. And the great thing is that you can get yourself out of it. That's the great thing, is that we have the keys. We don't have to hold ourselves hostage to what's going on. Yeah, that's the great thing, is that once you accept your reality, I'm not saying accept the status quo. I'm saying once you can acknowledge, you can accept your reality, you understand that you have the power to change it. And that's one of the greatest things that we can do. Number 4 is own your outcomes. Own it. And when we're talking about owning your outcomes, you have to sometimes we want other people to sort of dictate to us what we should do, right? Hey, what should I do, guys? What should I do? What should I do? And then people give you advice, and then guess what? We don't have to hold on to it. So as a life coach, when I talk to people and they ask me what they should do, I ask them, what do you think you should do? What are your options here? Because if I tell them what to do, if someone tells someone else what to do, they don't have to own it. They can just say, hey, I had a person that wanted to be a life coach because I have a life coach certification program. And I said, hey, why do you want to be a life coach? And he said, well, I want to be a life coach because, some people said I should be it. And I'm not surprised that he didn't do well in the program because he didn't have the ownership. Own up to it. Own up to what has happened. And also own up to how we're going to fix it. That's it. That's that is so refreshing when you're able to accept reality for what it is. And then from there, you can change whether you what you think, what you say, and what you do. Hey man, we are free. Once you're able to accept that, you're getting rid of the lie. You're in reality, right? Because reality again will be here whether you want to believe it or not. It's true. I've seen people as a DJ try to create the persona that, oh, they're at a club and it's jumping. Like they're walking around, they got their cameras. There'd be like 4 or 5 people there, right? You know, a lot of party promoters will do that. If you're in the party industry, you know, a lot of party promoters will, oh, the line is outside. I'm like, when I used to be a bouncer, I used to look around like, outside where? Because I think it's more staff here than anything, right? But they gotta create that reality. And guess what? You're listening to the show, you're listening to the radio. They're saying, "Oh, the line is around the corner. Oh, it's packed in here. Oh, get down here now." And you show up. Have you ever done that? And you show up thinking it's about to be lit, and it's just you. You're like, "Oh hell!" Own your outcomes. Because here's the thing, scammers exist and all these different things, you know, these things that are not true exist because we want to believe that something else can create an outcome that we want. So let me get this straight. So I worked hard at my credit. I made sure that I was on point with my credit. I made sure that I paid my stuff on time, talked to creditors, paid stuff off completely, all these different things. But you mean to tell me that there's a person that if I pay them $100, my credit score can jump 200 points? Really? It's because we don't want to do the work, which goes back to owning your outcomes. We have to own it. And that means working at it. Don't put it on somebody else. A lot of times in the show, people talk about how did they get here? And they say, hey, it was my family. They weren't around, stuff like that. And I'm not, and of course, we on this show, I'm always an advocate for therapy because yes, your past can lead to what happened, but we can stop it. We can put something in front of it. We have control. And owning your outcome simply means that, hey, I accept and I'm going to work hard and I'm going to choose to create the outcome that I desire. The people that are on the show, they go to the doctor and he sort of lays into them too. Oh, he's with it. He'll lay into them and then they go home and they'll say, yeah, I'm for it. And then they go right back to their stuff. They're not owning the outcome. They don't need the doctor. I mean, they need the doctor for the procedure, of course, but they don't need him. As far as he's saying to them, you need to lose 30 pounds. He's not, you know, he's telling you, you need to lose 30 pounds in 2 months. And then you should go right back into it. But you have to own your outcome. You have to. If you don't own it, then you won't do what's necessary. Like I own my house and I'm not, and it's people who rent their house. And I'm pretty sure there's a difference between somebody owning something and somebody renting something. That's not always true. But but a couple of blocks, a couple of doors down, they were renting and they didn't care. They didn't. They didn't care if stuff was out on the porch or trash was around. No, they didn't care. Own your outcome. You have power. There are 3 types of people in this world as we wrap this up on this show. 3 types of people. People that make stuff happen, people that let stuff happen, and people that wondered what happened. And you can choose to be one of them, or you don't, and then you automatically choose which one you are. If you say, well, I'm not one of those, oh, sure you are. Man, own your outcomes, guys. Let's own our outcomes from here on out. We are in charge. What happens to us, for the most part, is up to is on us. So own it. Hey, you want to lose weight? I bet you if you right now for 6 months, go not even 6, 3 months, not even 3, 1 month. It was a guy on you. I actually posted it. A guy on YouTube. He did a push-up challenge for 100 days. I mean, of course, that's more than a month, right? Don't try to kill me in the comments. Yes, that's more than a month. But for 100 days, he did push-ups every single day. And at the end of those 100 days, they did it before and after, and he was doing it. Yeah. So let's own our outcomes. Let's understand that we have power in what we say. We have power in what we do, and we have power in how we carry things. The last thing is, don't let fear get in the way. Don't let fear failure make you not do it, because that's in essence failing. Don't let fear get in the way. You don't want to you're afraid that if I do this and stuff like that, and you're looking at YouTube and you're looking at the news, you're looking at articles that say, hey, I shouldn't do this or whatever. Stop letting fear run you. Fear is only generated by the thoughts that we attribute to. We give power to fear. If you don't believe me, if you don't know how to swim and you at a pool and a kid jumps in, like my children, they've been learning to swim since since forever. So if I say jump in, they're jumping in. You think you could tell an adult that? No, we generate those fears ourselves. It's the same water, and this is a person that's smaller than you. So we have to avoid letting fear get in the way of what we need to do. Fear of, oh, I'm going to look a certain way. No, you're not. No, you're not. Don't be afraid. Or ask yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen? And then turn around and say, hey, what's the best thing that can happen? Yeah. So as I recap here on season 4, man, I really, really missed you guys. Hopefully you missed me too. Well, I saw a lot of people. And again, thank you for your concerns, your prayers, your comments, all those wonderful things of people really letting me know that they're looking, they're pulling for me, they're rooting for me. And I really appreciate that. All right. So let me give you this recap. Number 1, accept yourself. Hey, accept yourself. Accept who you are. Number 2, acknowledge your reality and how we have the power to change it. Number 3, identify your part, your role. What can you do? What did you do? What contributing factors did you play in this? And now what contributing factors? What are you going to do to get out of it? Number 4, own your outcome. And number 5, hey guys, don't let fear get in the way. All right, guys, guess what? That is a wrap for season 4. Man, please make sure that you check out each and every episode dropping hot and fresh Tuesday right at midnight. If you have not checked out all 3 seasons, what are you doing? You see how fire this one is. And guess what? We have amazing guests, especially this season, man. All these seasons, I have really, really dope guests. So please make sure you catch up on each and every episode by heading on over to See.Plan.Do show.com, where I'm streaming from all of your favorite streaming platforms. If you are looking to support this show, of course, like, share, and subscribe. Tell people about the show, comment, all those wonderful things. But one of the biggest things you can do is become a Patreon supporter for pennies a day. A couple of bucks a month, you can greatly support this show and the efforts and some of the things that I want to do here. All right. So when you become a Patreon supporter, you get some sweet perks. You get some sweet stuff. So please, if you want to support this show for a cup of coffee, for the price of I don't know, man, a carton of milk, right? You can greatly support the efforts of your favorite podcast. So please check out the link. When you go to See.Plan.Do show.com, you'll see a link to become a Patreon supporter. And last, but certainly not least, thank you. It feels good to be back. It feels good to be able to talk to you, be on this mic, and be able to reach out to you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You, as I've said continuously, are the best part of this show. You are. I know I have the banner. I know I have the logo, right? I know I got the logo, right? I know I have the sweet banner at the bottom now if you're watching me on YouTube. I know I have the sweet sultry mic. Hey, how you doing? Huh? What you doing? But you are the best part of the show. Yeah, I know, right? Spoiler alert, you are the best part. And so keep it, I enjoy doing all these shows, not for me, but for you. So until we see each other again, because we will, I promise you, we will. whether it's this life or the next. Until we talk again, because we'll talk. Hey, we could talk right now. Hit me up. And until we share those special, special moments again. Always remember, guys, to see what you want. I really want you to envision it. Envision what you want. I want you to see it. Can you close your eyes right now? Can you see it? Sure you can. You've been thinking about it and dreaming about it all this time. I want you to plan it out. Poor planning leads to poor performance. I want you to plan it out. Write it out. Plan it out. And above all else, if you do nothing else, I need you to do it. Please take 2 minutes to do it. Guess what, man? That is the end of the season 4 premiere. Thank you guys so much. And guess what? I'll see you at same Life Coach time and same Life Coach channel. Bye.